People have been asking me to take a look at this clip. Many are calling this the dumbest interviewer ever.
Because there's everything in this. Absolutely everything in this.
You've said things like, black women are biologically different than white women.
Everyone is biologically different than everyone.
Yes, they have different fertility windows. They have a higher rate of fertility complications, 50%
There's
higher
no
rate.
scientific evidence to prove that a black woman and a white woman are genetically different, right? This is like...
What are you talking
This is
about?
according,
I mean, it's so false. It is astounding.
Hang on a second. If we can't agree on this, we can't agree on anything about reality, right?
So she's already off to a bad start.
For some people that do believe, like you, that people are genetically different.
It's not a belief. This is objective truth. If you could disprove the existence of genes, you're welcome to do so, but you can't just sit there and say people are not genetically different.
That has historically been used to promote racial hierarchies, right? And that's why I'm asking you.
What has fascinated me recently is Richard Dawkins' work on genes. We are the vessels that are carrying these replicators. Genes are the only constant, the only eternal within biology.
The gene is immortal. In fact, a publisher once, when I showed him the first couple of chapters of The Selfish Gene, said you shouldn't call it that, you should call it the immortal gene. And perhaps I should have done.
Genes are the force that are pushing for replication. Now, there's still a mystery behind why that is.
Genes are immortal in the sense that the coded information they contain is reproduced, is replicated with almost total fidelity, significantly, not absolutely total fidelity, generation after generation after generation, such that there are genes which are identical to what they were tens of millions of years ago, hundreds of millions of years ago in a few cases.
The best science can give us on the advent of life is this primordial soup, and suddenly the first replicators emerge. Yet no one can explain why those first replicators wanted to even replicate. I think there's still a great potential for a larger design.
An individual organism is a throwaway survival machine for the self-replicating coded information which it contains.
We can analyze it at the level almost of like we would be able to analyze computer code.
Yeah. No.
Like literally, there are genes that code for their skin color. There are genes that...
Again, this is like government data. This is EMI, right? This is the National Institute of Health. This is the American Medical Association. Like, there is no scientific evidence to prove that.
And that's a big problem, right? Because a lot of...
No, there's no scientific
and that's
evidence
why I
about
asked.
things like IQ differences.
So right there, he clarifies. He says, yeah, you wouldn't be able to necessarily make claims about IQ differences. Yes, it is something that we do not seem to fully understand, but for me, it's because it doesn't tell me that much. If you were to take the average IQ of the people in my town and compare it to the average IQ of the next town over, yes, there's going to be a discrepancy. There's always going to be a discrepancy. But how much does that actually tell us? Even if I know the average IQ of people with that genetic code skin color.
Black people are genetically different from other populations.
And I'll say that again. There is no scientific evidence to prove that.
No, there's overwhelming scientific evidence to prove that. And he is making that claim here, but she's just not hearing it at all because this is just taboo.
Right, and as people
No, I'm sorry, I'm stating, do you want to ask an AI if there's scientific evidence to prove that?
No, I want to ask...
No, because what you're
based
stating
on
is just factually incorrect.
It's a new year and time to make resolutions to upgrade what you're putting into your body. Sponsor of this video, Masa Chips. It's the easiest way to eat clean without feeling like you are on a diet. Masa's chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic, nixtamalized corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. And that's it. No seed oils, no mystery chemicals, just real food. And they taste pretty good. And snacking on these is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel energized, satisfied, and energetic. With no crashing, no bloating. Because they're made with real ingredients, they're more satiating. You won't find yourself uncontrollably binging and then feeling unsatisfied afterwards. So far, my favorite flavor has been the lime. Ready to give Masa a try? Go to masachips.com/Warren and use code Warren for 25% off your first order, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa is now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick up a couple of bags before they're gone. I think this is so entertaining for people, and this went viral because he is so exasperated in the face of stupidity. I think many people can relate to this feeling. It doesn't matter what you say. She's arguing something completely different than what he's arguing, even though he could not make it any more clear.
No, because what you're stating is just factually incorrect. Humans are genetically diverse. It's not a bad thing that humans are genetically diverse.
I'm not saying it's a bad or a good thing. I'm saying there is no scientific evidence.
I'm not saying it's a bad or a good thing that people are genetically diverse. I'm saying people are not genetically diverse. That is the argument here.
And I'm saying that is a factually...
And he's saying that there is scientific evidence.
There is scientific evidence. There is overwhelming scientific evidence. Basics... No. This is like saying the sky is not blue.
How have we gotten to this point? Because so many people are dismissing biology as a tool for potential oppression. We've seen this manifest in many ways. I had a conversation with Destiny on the importance of scientific objective truth, and he was trying to articulate the idea of, yes, but scientific objective truth can be wielded in dangerous ways, therefore, well, you need to be careful. So, yep, we should all be careful in all things.
One issue that I run into sometimes when I see people talk about certain issues is there's a phrase that will get tossed around sometimes, and it's this phrase, objective truth or objective scientific truth. And I feel like when people utter this phrase, the phrase is a lot stronger, I think, epistemically than some people realize, as in there's a lot of stuff being asserted there, and you don't need to assert that much stuff to have a particular argument. And I think that the ground that somebody is standing on is a lot less firm than they think when they assert that. And sometimes I feel like people will assert things and they'll call them like objective truths as a way to kind of like axiomatically brush over where legitimate disagreement can exist. As in somebody will say like, oh, well, I believe A, and someone will say, I believe B, and someone will go, well, actually, A is objective truth. And I was like, oh, well, in that case, I guess if you've defined it as such, then I guess it's over. And I guess that's my main frustration with phrases like when people bring up like objective truth, basically.
But what does that have to do with the existence of objective truth? This is what that leads to.
Like, it is genes that code their skin color, right? Those genes are obviously different in them than they are in us. How is that not science? That's just like a basic fact. The genes that code their skin color, their level of melanin production, are different from my genes that code melanin production.
And that's precisely why I was asking this question, because I think for some people that do believe, like you, that people are genetically different.
People that believe like you that people are genetically different. It's not a belief. This is objective truth.
That has historically been used to promote racial hierarchies.
And there it is. Well, because this objective truth has historically been used in ludicrous ways, therefore objective truth does not exist. People today are so fearful of any scientific inquiry into differences at the genetic level. Because it has been abused in the past, it has been used to make ludicrous claims, but that doesn't change the scientific reality.
But it wasn't only kin that inspired me, it was the very idea of the survival machine of immortal genes, which goes back to the 1930s, I think.